All right, Lydia Ko, it's a pleasure to be have you join us today. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Congratulations, firstly, on your Olympic bronze medal, an incredible feat. How are you feeling post-Olympics and coming in here to the AIG Women's Open?
Yeah, it was a pretty quick turnaround from the Olympics to the Scottish Open last week, and I feel like the weeks are blending in a little bit, but yeah, I'm getting used to the time zone here finally, which is nice, and getting a little bit more of a constant sleep. But yeah, excited to be here. I always love playing over in this side of the world. Links golf is a lot different to the type of golf courses we normally get to play. So yeah, super excited. I think my first Open was in 2012, which was in St. Andrews, and then I think the last time I was in Carnoustie was in 2011, and I really wanted to play this golf course, and being here this year, I'm super excited.
Excellent. And you said that you came out and played some holes yesterday here at Carnoustie, and I think you played the last 7 or 8. What were your impressions of the course?
Yeah, this might be the trickiest British Open I've played yet. I've heard a lot about this place. I've watched it when the guys played a few years ago, and obviously it's held the championship quite a lot of times. But yeah, no, it's I think you have to be strategic around here. Somebody told me, hey, like, don't go, like, make sure to keep out of the bunkers. But I think that's the case at pretty much every links golf we play. But no, I think there are some holes where it is a bit more of a factor than maybe some of the other golf courses. So yeah, it's tricky, but at the end of the day, everybody plays the same golf course. So you play with what you get, and I'm just gonna enjoy it out here. It's gonna be a great experience, and I'm excited to be at a golf course where there's so much history here.
That's fantastic. Thanks. Now, first question comes from Neil Squires, please.
Hi, Lydia. Can I just ask you about Nelly's run of form at the moment, and how you think that might translate to links golf? Is that something she should be able to pick up in a stride, or is it a very different environment which might be more challenging for her?
I mean, when you look at Nelly's game, she's obviously very long and also very accurate. She's a great putter. Her iron control is amazing. Her short game is great. So pretty much I could go on and on and on about how great Nelly's game is, and she has an incredible mental strength as well on top of that. So I think that's why she's had, is it 3 wins? Yeah, 3 wins, and then obviously the Olympic gold, which makes it 4. So yeah, no, it's and a bunch of top 10s. So she's very impressive. I think her game is a game where it doesn't fit one type of golf course, and it definitely can translate well to here, where she's plenty long and also very accurate. So yeah, I'm sure she's going to have a great week. Golf day in, day out, it can feel a little different, but she's been playing so good and so consistently well. So I'm sure she is definitely one of the names that will be seeing. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her around the top of the leaderboard.
And our next question comes from Neville. Thank you.
Lydia, I was very interested in your comment after the Scottish Open, saying that you had decided you'd play aggressively. I was just looking at the par 5s where you were 9 under, and I think you were probably the 3rd most successful on the par 5s. Do you view that as something you're now trying to reach into, if you can, and see that as important in your overall scoring?
For me, my goal one of my, I guess, strategies at the Olympics was to play a little bit more aggressively, especially because there's only 3 medalists, and I think that was kind of the mindset. And then I continued that for when I played last week. I think last week some of the par 5s were definitely reachable. I had driver 9-iron into the par 5 15th on the 2nd or 3rd day. So obviously it's very different. Like Dunbarney was great and a really good lead up for this week, but it's also a very different type of golf course to here. And, you know, the whole length is a little bit longer. And, you know, especially with links golf, you know, the wind is such a big factor where one day you could be hitting a short mid iron into a par 5, and then the next day you could be not reaching it in 2. So yeah, I think I'm just trying to stay on that kind of strategy of, you know, playing aggressively, but at the same time, if I am out of position, you know, making sure that I'm not making careless mistakes. So yeah, I'm a little longer, I think, in general off the tee than I was I think a couple years ago. So that obviously makes it a little bit different to play. Sometimes I'm having to take different lines off the tee at some of the golf courses we have been playing for a while. So it just depends. And I think here at Links, it's a little bit different because sometimes you're hitting different shots that you may not at some other golf courses.
Thank you.
Great. And the next question is from Matt Brown, please. Sorry, Matt, you're just on mute.
Unmute. There we go. Hi, Lydia. Can you just talk a little bit about the level of confidence that you have coming into this major, following on from Tokyo, the bronze there, and of course that incredible final round just last week or a couple of days ago?
Yeah, obviously medaling in Tokyo definitely gave me a lot of confidence coming into last week. Last week my ball striking was really good, and then I was able to kind of back up my putting over the weekend. On top of that, which I think which was probably the reason why I was able to finish on a high on Sunday last week. You know, I'm just trying, you know, this is third week in a row. Obviously doesn't seem like it's a lot of weeks, but at the same time we're, you know, traveling, and, you know, Tokyo was 1 week that felt almost like 2 weeks. You know, there's a lot of like mental things outside of just, you know, playing a week of golf as well. So yeah, I think I've just been, you know, trying to stay confident, work on the things that I feel like needs a little bit more work, and just keeping it simple and just making sure that when I'm out there playing, I'm playing with freedom. And hopefully the last couple of weeks translates into this week. But all in all, I'm just gonna have a good time, and, you know, whatever happens, happens. And, you know, I just not be so result orientated and just enjoy my time here in Carnoustie.
And just one follow-up there, Lydia. It's renowned, obviously, being a links course, but when the wind gets up, it can be really tough. I mean, has it been calm so far? Are you expecting a lot of wind? Because obviously it changes, you know, the course a lot when it blows.
I think I said the max average was around 13 miles per hour over these next few days. Yesterday was fairly calm and a beautiful sunny day, so it's probably the best we were going to be able to play the golf course. I haven't played the golf course today, so it seems a little breezier than it was yesterday. So day in, day out, it's different. Wind direction makes it different. Wind direction, I think, especially can make a whole golf course feel like a totally different golf course to when you played with a different direction of wind. So yeah, you know, I think everyone plays, you know, the same stuff. So I think for me, it's just, you know, being focused on, you know, how I need to go about, you know, these holes, and how I can take advantage of some of the shorter ones and some of the tougher ones, just making sure that, you know, I'm playing smart, and, you know, par or sometimes bogey is not the end of the world.
Thank you.
Great. And our next question is from Stuart, please.
Hi, Lydia. You followed up your bronze medal in Tokyo with a runner-up finish in the Women's Scottish Open. How important is it to continue that momentum, particularly going into the week of a major championship?
You know, this is my last tournament in pretty much like a month. So after this, I get a little bit of a break, which is really nice. So yeah, you know, it would definitely nice to be able to cap off these stretch of events on a high. And you know, I really enjoy playing links golf. I know at times when I'm out there playing, it's really tough, and you know, there's a lot of things to think about. But I haven't had. I think last year was probably my second best finish at this championship. So I would love to be able to play more consistently well over here, because it is a type of game that I enjoy playing. But yeah, just gonna enjoy it and not get too stressed or too worried about the results, because those things I can't control, and just do a good job with the things that I can control and be committed and have trust when I'm out playing.
Great. And our next question is from Nick Roger, please.
Here we are. Hi, Lydia. I think you've essentially been winning, well, professionally golfs for what, 10 years, 14, when you won your first kind of professional title. Do you look 10 years down the line and see what Lydia Ko would still like to achieve over the next few years?
I kind of set a goal of retiring around 30, so
30.
I'm hoping to not play when I'm 34. I love this game, yes, but I feel like there's a lot of other things that I would also like to do in my life. So yeah, no, I try and not get too focused on what may happen. Obviously, I have goals, and doing the career Grand Slam is definitely one of my biggest goals as a golfer. But I think another thing is just being injury free and being able to play. And with our sport, or with anything, when you keep doing constant movements, there's a little bit of the wear and tear. And I think not being injured is also a very big thing as well. So yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing. I think only time will tell, but for now, I just enjoy it and be grateful that I have the opportunity to play on tour.
Yeah, I mean, you're only 24, but at times, do you feel like a veteran given how long you've been out here?
I mean, this is my 8th year on tour, and I used to definitely be the youngest one on tour, and now there are girls that's like 3-4 years younger than me, which makes me feel a lot older. But at the same time, there are ladies that have been playing on tour longer than I've been alive, and it's pretty amazing just seeing them and how they're putting themselves in contention and still playing great golf even till now, and still being so passionate about the game. And I think that's the great thing about golf, is that if you can and you want to, you're able to play the sport for a really long time, and there's not that many sports that you can do that for.
Yeah, sorry, one more from me. I think 2012, this will be your 10th Open, I think. It was at Hoylake Royal Liverpool 2012. What do you remember about that test and the links experience, and was there a lot of things you learned from that first outing as an amateur then?
I think we had horrible weather that year, like horrible, like raining sideways. I think I finally shanked it, and they like blew the horn, and I was like, yay. Like it was one of those days. It didn't matter what you shot, because you were just so excited to come out of the golf course, out of the rain. But that was really tricky. That was actually quite an interesting one, because I think they had it was very high winds on that first day, so that first day got canceled, I think, and then that we had to play. I think I was in the afternoon, so I was never out on the golf course then. But yeah, that was a really tricky golf course. That was probably one of the trickier ones we played as well. But that's when it was kind of like, welcome to the British Open. I was like, wow, they said it's summer over here. I'm experiencing the British summer. But no, that's part of it. Everyone, I think to some extent you kind of have to expect that it may rain or be really windy, and you just have to prepare for that.
Yeah, great stuff. Good luck this week, Lydia. Thanks.
Thank you.
We have another question now from Stuart, please.
Hi, Lydia. You're up to 6th in the world rankings now. Is that something that you think about, and do you think about getting back to number 1 as an ambition for yourself?
I honestly haven't checked the Rolex rankings in a really long time. I personally think that as long as I do a good job of what I can control, which is being committed, playing with conviction, those are the things that I can do. And if and the results are something that I can't really control. And, you know, if I play good, but somebody plays better, then also that's something that I can't control. So for me, I'm focusing on what I can do. And then rankings, results, they all come, they're secondary, and you know, they kind of work itself out. So yeah, you know, definitely, obviously, yes, would be great to be number one, but to me, the rankings is not the more important thing. And for me, it's just to be in contention, and for me to enjoy being out there on the golf course. That's more important to me. And I feel like when I'm having fun, I'm able to play better golf. So yeah, it's yes, but I'm not really focusing on that.
We have a question now from Steve Scott, please.
Hi, Lydia. I wonder if you said you played the last 8 holes yesterday. I was wondering what you thought of 17 and 18 and the strategies, because they're quite unique holes in many ways, are they not? 17 is a beast, and 18 is also a beast, but 17, there's that creek that there's 2 creeks, and then it's a long hole itself, but because you're really unless it's pumping downwind, I would always be going in that middle section. I hit a hybrid off the tee and then hit a 5-wood for the second shot. So it's pretty rare that you would hit a longer club for your second shot into a par 5 compared to the club off the tee. But you know, the good thing about links, and especially around on 17, is that you can roll it up. So even if you have a longer club in, it's not like you have to fly something and get it to land softly. And you know, with the way that I think majority of the field will play it that way, so it's not like it's just playing long for a certain type of player. But yeah, it's definitely a unique hole. 18, I think if you hit a really good drive down there, it's I think you're able to, you know, go for birdies. And I think especially around this golf course, you know, the tee shot is going to be so important to keep it in the fairway. And I think the more times you keep in the fairway, the more chances you've got, and you know, the less mistakes you're able to, or bigger numbers you're able to make. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to hit 4 really good drives down the 18th, and you know, give myself good shots coming into the pin.
Well, that is all that we have time for today. And I would like to thank Lydia so much for joining us. And we wish you the best of luck here at the AIG Women's Open.
Thank you.